I truly believe, Omar, that entrepreneurship is a calling. And so if you are called to do that, it's for a reason and it's for a specific group of people. So you have to realize your business isn't going to look like XYZ influencer here, like insert whoever you want to say here, because you have a different calling. So you have a different purpose. You have a different group of people that you are called to serve, because I believe entrepreneurship is a calling. And so because of that, there are specific people that you are called to. So if you don't connect with them and you don't truly get out there and serve it, like there is a good opportunity that they may never get the help that they really need.
Welcome to another episode of the Health Coach Academy podcast. I'm your host, Omar Cumberbatch of OmarCumberbatch.com. Appreciate you joining today. We have another amazing guest on deck. His name is Sean Garner, and he is a marketing expert and former gym owner who helps wellness professionals grow their businesses. He's the founder of Sean Garner Consulting and a certified StoryBrand guide. He's awesome. I really went down a wonderful rabbit hole with him today. Really just had a lot of passion and energy, and he's really out there trying to help a lot of health coaches get to their marketing, pinnacle, because he's just amazing at it, and he really has some wonderful insights. So I would love for you to leave a rating and review as always, because that helps me get great guests like Sean on the show, and of course continue to help health coaches out there grow their businesses and expand their reach in this world. So let's jump into it. Hey, Sean, welcome to the show. How are you today?
I am awesome, man. Thank you so much, Omar. It's amazing to get the opportunity to connect, and excited to hopefully share some value with your team and your audience today.
Oh, listen, it's a pleasure to have you. Really excited. I know you have an awesome background, awesome origin story. So I'm going to let you get into that right away so we can jump into some questions, because I know that you're out there helping a lot of people in different genres, including health as well, get their business off the ground. Marketing is something that's truly difficult when you're coming out of, health coaching certification programs and whatever universities maybe some of our audiences are actually exiting from. So I know you're going to be a wealth of information. So let's jump into your background story a little bit, and then we'll jump into those questions.
Yeah, absolutely. So what I do now is help small business owners with their marketing. We have a small business marketing agency, because what we found is that so many businesses were wasting a tremendous amount of money on marketing that just doesn't work. It's not getting them results, and good marketing should be producing results for your business. But how I got here was a long journey. We'll try and go through the quick highlights, but I joke with my wife. We've been married 20 years, and I feel like I've had like 30 different jobs. But the one that we have now at the agency owner, we've had for about 8 years, and I'm sticking with this one. I love what I do. But about 15 years ago, I was working as a firefighter. Loved doing that as a firefighter paramedic for about 5 years. That was my first exposure to anything fitness. Like growing up, I was the skinny skateboarder, video game kid, like nothing to do with sports, fitness, athletics, health, nutrition, any of that stuff. Mm-hmm. And so becoming a firefighter, health, fitness is very important to that and everything. And so that got me into fitness. And so the very first thing that my wife and I did is, before we had any kids, is we opened up our first gym. So we owned a CrossFit gym here in Oklahoma, grew it to being pretty successful after about 1 year, and had the opportunity and made the decision that it was a great idea to leave the fire department, because the gym had been big enough to where I was getting to be a big boy boss. I was getting to be an entrepreneur and go out on my own and all that stuff. And so we ended up having that gym for a couple of years, and ended up selling that one off. We bought out another competitor gym, sold that one off. And man, I thought I knew all about business. I was like, man, I started from this gym from nothing. We grew up to like one of the largest CrossFit gyms in the area. I bought out my competition. I sold it. I made some money. Like I'm a genius at this fitness stuff. Well, so about a year later, I was like, man, if I did that good in a small city, let's spend more money, get a bigger facility and all of this stuff. Quick version is I opened up a sports performance functional training gym and lost everything plus got sued by some partners. And it was a horrible experience. Ended up closing that gym down and then moving to Miami, Florida in about 2015. And that's where it's kind of like a big reset for me in the fitness industry. So my upbringing in fitness and health and everything was teaching it myself. And so I went to go work for a gym called Anatomy. started out as just a personal trainer, worked my way up to a general manager. But that's the first time where I really started to learn the essence of a personal brand. Like, right, I'd owned a business before, but it was more so about trying to promote like the trainers that were working for me and stuff like that. And I never really understood this concept of marketing and branding and digital marketing and all the things that are out there. And that's where I really had lots of opportunities in the health and fitness space, to where I was a writer and fitness advisor for Men's Health Magazine. I had my own online training products called Project Dad Bod. And then I had digital products that I released through Men's Health as well. So learned a lot in the online fitness space. And I started having friends, colleagues coming to me like, man, how are you getting all these brand deals? You're selling these online programs and these online coaching products. And how are you doing all this stuff? I'm like, oh man, it's easy. Like, and I just started showing them what I was learning. And it was like blowing their mind. They're like, whoa, I don't want to learn all this website stuff and everything. And so I started out, what this version of this agency is now, started out at about 8 years ago, is like the quote unquote fitness business coach guy. And I was teaching everybody how to do what I had done. And what I learned really quickly is that I could teach them anything, or I could tell them everything that they needed to do. But one of my favorite quotes is, knowledge without application is meaningless. So they knew what they needed to do, but man, Omar, very few people want to learn how to build websites. They don't want to learn how to build funnels and email marketing automations and stuff like that. They just want to do their craft. So then I pivoted that to started to more done for you services. I was like, okay, you're a trainer. I know trainers. I'm just going to take what I did and I'll share it with you. And I still found that there was somewhat of a disconnect, because it wasn't truly their marketing. I was trying to put my brand almost in theirs, and I didn't really know how to customize and tweak it to somebody else. Then I was given a challenge. My attorney came to me and he said, hey, I'm seeing what you're doing for these other fitness coaches. Don't you think it would work for my law firm? I was like, oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's the same principles and processes and stuff, just needs to be tweaked for you. And so ended up doing it for him. This is right before COVID, like 2019. It worked really well for him, and his practice started to grow in and stuff even more. And then in 2020, my wife opened up her own medical practice, and she's like, hey, well, you already know all this digital marketing stuff. Why don't you just build our website, do our StoryBrand messaging, build out the funnels, the automations, and yeah, I can do that. So I started doing all that. Lo and behold, 2020, that's whenever the whole world got crazy and shut down and everything. And that's where a lot of opportunities came for me, because then all of a sudden everybody wanted to go online in the fitness space. And then tons of businesses were needing to learn more about this digital marketing stuff. And so lots of consulting opportunities and everything came from that. And then ever since then, the business has shifted and evolved to where now we are a full service small business digital marketing agency. And so our specialty, Omar, is really working with brands to clarify their message with StoryBrand messaging. And we help them grow their business so they can dominate their industry. Like, we joke with people, like, if you just want a couple of leads, we're not your agency. But if you want to be seen as the best in your industry, we're your team, because the process that we use makes it so that you can stand out online. And it's not just about getting you a few leads and teaching you how, like, hey, here's the latest social media trick to use. It's all about building a solid marketing funnel. And that is the foundation for everything that you need to truly succeed on your online. And that's what we help small businesses do now.
Oh, that's awesome. So I know that you've been mentioning, and what my research on you, I know funnels are very important in the scheme of things. Well, as a health coach who's just coming out of their certification program, do you help like craft like who they actually are? Because a lot of people actually start doubting what they're actually providing for people. Do you walk step as well? Like, give me like an idea of what like the initial thing that say a consultation would discuss when someone first meets you?
Yeah, absolutely. Great question. So that's one of the things that I think makes our agency unique, is it has molded and crafted over the years, honestly, after all the bad experiences that I had working with other marketing agencies. So a lot of times, like, you go to hire a web developer, Omar, they're going to build you a beautiful website exactly how you tell them to do it. They're not thinking about persuasive sales copy. They're not thinking about user experience and site structure and actually selling what you're actually doing. They're trying to make digital artwork almost. And so unfortunately, most businesses, when they present and give their website copy and stuff to a website designer, they're going to take exactly what you give them and they're going to put it on the website like you gave it to them. One of the things that we do is we actually start foundationally with the brand messaging. So I'm a certified StoryBrand coach, StoryBrand guide. And so the very foundational thing that we do is we work with all of our clients to craft what's called your brand script. So just like you have a visual identity, your logos, colors, fonts, and stuff like that, you would give that to a graphic designer if you wanted them to make you a pamphlet or a brochure or something like that. Your brand script is that exact same thing for the words that you use. So what we do is we work with all of our clients as our first step of all of our products that we sell is we create and craft your brand script so you can have your brand messaging. So then once you have that, well, then it's a lot easier to create websites, social media, email marketing. You have ideas for lead generators and everything because you have a foundational, just like you have a visual brand. Well, your word, people buy things because of your words. So we help everybody craft that. So then it's so much easier for us to go and create all the other marketing collateral you have. Because if you don't understand, it's less, Omar, about who you are and more about who you are called to serve. And so what the brand messaging really does is it helps you to identify the people that you are called to serve and to connect with them instead of just like, hey, look how awesome I am and make it all about yourself. It helps you to connect with your customers and it helps you to stand out that way because you are speaking directly to a specific group of people.
That is so important. I've dealt with the exact same thing because, just coming out, you kind of figure, all right, like you said, I have to show how great I am. Right.
Yeah.
And then again, like you have a vision of what maybe you're attracted to on someone else's website. It's like, I want something like that. It really has nothing to do. You shouldn't have anything to do with that. Actually, like you're mentioning, it's like, okay, who is the person who you're trying to attract? That's the one you're trying to impress.
Yeah. I truly believe, Omar, that entrepreneurship is a calling. And so if you are called to do that, it's for a reason and it's for a specific group of people. So you have to realize your business isn't going to look like XYZ influencer here, like insert whoever you want to say here, because you have a different calling. So you have a different purpose. You have a different group of people that you are called to serve, because I believe entrepreneurship is a calling. And so because of that, there are specific people that you are called to. So if you don't connect with them and you don't truly get out there and serve it, like there is a good opportunity that they may never get the help that they really need.
Right. Now makes it sense. So I guess to piggyback on that, like at the end of the day, once you establish that you have that person that's get their story brand correct and present it to the world, the next step really would be the funnel aspect of it, like or
Yeah. So
Okay.
great question. So whenever we use the term at our agency, Sean Garner Consulting, funnel or sales funnel, it is less about a tool or a website, and it's more about a system. So our whole process is around three things: build, fill, and optimize your sales funnel. So the foundation of all of it is your sales funnel. What a sales funnel is a process from taking people from not knowing who you are to becoming a super fan customer for life. So the foundational thing of a sales funnel is your brand messaging, your logos, colors, fonts, the words that you use, your overall brand. Then the other parts of a funnel are going to be your website. There's actually a certain way that you should structure out your website so it's not just all about you, but there's 10 sections to a website, especially a homepage or a sales page that you need to have. And they're in there for a reason to take that brand script, that messaging that you have, and walk your customers through a journey as they're scrolling through your website to make sure they're checking all the mental boxes they need to do to buy from you. The third thing that it is, it's a lead generator. So on your website, there's going to be, not everybody that comes to your website is going to be ready to buy. So we need to have something there to exchange of value so we can capture their information, whether it be, texting them, sending them an email, but something so we can follow up for the ones that weren't ready to buy. You see this all the time. This is going to be like quizzes, checklists, PDFs, webinars, mini courses, things like that, to where we can not necessarily have them pull out their credit card, but they're going to pay with their information so we can follow up with them. The other part of a sales funnel is a follow-up sequence. So typically we want to send 5 to 6 emails or texts after they've opted in for, again, those people that weren't ready to buy and join our program, whatever it is. Then the rest of it comes down to just building out the foundations, what we call your digital storefront. So all of your social media banners, making sure that the messaging and the branding and everything is consistent across every entrance point of that sales funnel process. And then taking all of that information and plugging it into some type of CRM or database. So that way, as people are coming to the website, it's not just getting you one-off notification to your inbox and then you're forgetting about that customer and you're not following up with them, weeks or months later. It's creating and bringing all that data into a sales funnel. And that's honestly the foundation, Omar, of what we build is that sales funnel, the messaging, the website, the lead generator, the emails, the CRM, the social profile. So that way, that's your bucket. Well, then you can start doing the other two phases, which is fill and optimize. But you don't want to start worrying about blasting a ton of content on social media or doing all this paid ads and stuff if you don't have a solid bucket or foundation to pour people into. Because if not, you're just going to be wasting money and leads are just going to be pouring out of the side of the bucket.
Yeah, no, it's so fascinating because I've had over 200 guests on the show and everybody has like their way of doing it. But you believe it or not, you guys, in what you're doing in your agency, 90% of the people agree with it in its, I guess at the core.
Yeah.
You have some people, who think social media is a big deal or some other kind of marketing that might be a big deal.
Yeah.
And the only reason I want to bring up social media a little bit is because I'm not a big fan of it to begin with. However, do you see that the direction of how people are looking for, you and your services changing and it's moving more to social media as opposed to like, say, the online website kind of spaces? So there's a couple of theories about that I've been hearing a little bit more recently.
So
Curious.
Amazing question. And so I'll kind of answer with an analogy. Especially since we're talking to the health fitness type professionals here and everything, you don't technically need a gym or even a certification to give people health, fitness, and nutrition advice. Technically, you don't. All you really need is a place to do it. You can train people in the park at your local park and write handwritten meal plans on a sheet of paper and give that to people and be a health coach. But do you know any super successful health coaches or fitness professionals that are doing it that way? No, they're doing it in a gym. They're training people in a gym. They've got a uniform one. They look presentable. Everything is polished and it's at a different level. So I think, yes, you can just do the bare minimum to where I hear people all the time, well, you don't really need a website to get clients. You can just use social media and they can DM you 100%. But that's working way harder than you need to, because now you only have one source. That one, you don't actually own that traffic that's coming in. If they throttle your engagement or anything, the next platform pops up, you're not actually storing that information somewhere. And it's only working if you're continually posting. The beautiful thing, if your website is set up right, the other big aspect that our agency does when it comes to that fill and optimize side is we also specialize in search engine optimization. And so now with the rise of AI, we're doing lots of AI SEO and generative GEO and all of that good stuff, because people are still always going to be searching for things. And the way the place where they do the searching might change, whether it be ChatGPT or social and everything, but the foundations and stuff still are the same. You need to make sure that you've got a solid place to send people to capture those leads, to follow up with people, to give them something of value, because the people that are going to spend the most amount of money are the ones that are going to be most invested with you. And those are going to be the ones that find you on your website and you have a way to stand out from the competition versus just somebody with a social media account.
No, makes sense. Yeah. I tend to agree with that too, because like you said, I mean, you don't own the social media accounts there. I mean, you can get swallowed up by that person's algorithm.
Yeah.
Or you might just got blocked out. So I see it's funny because I was on social the other day just scrolling and I saw someone who I haven't seen in like 4 or 5 months.
Yeah.
Clicked on and that person had content pretty much daily. I got blocked out from it. So it isn't what a lot of people actually imagine at that time.
So I will tell you truth insider information too. So one of the other things I did in the fitness space is I was the head of creator development for a very large fitness app that's called the Playbook app. So my job was to run the back-end digital marketing of some of the largest fitness creators on the planet. Like these guys have millions of followers on Instagram, all the social media platforms and everything. Social media, what we found, and I know all the inside true data and stuff, they might look like they're doing good, but they're really not. So the size of what we found is the size of somebody's Instagram following had zero to do with their ability to convert into actual money. The two biggest indicators that did was the size of their email list and the size of their YouTube following. So if you are going to spend time, effort, and energy on social media, the ones that we found made the most money consistently was an email list or a YouTube channel. And this is the reason why. We'll be blunt here. It's really, if you look really, really good with your shirt off or in a bikini, you can grow a following on social media with having little to no experience, because people are just going to follow you because you're fit. It might inspire them and everything. To grow a big email list or to grow a YouTube channel means two things. One, if you've grown an email list, it means you've done something to give out a lot of value that makes people want to give you their email address in exchange for that information. So you know how to create value for people. If you've grown a YouTube channel, that is not short, poppy, in your face, fake information. To capture somebody's information and get them onto your YouTube channel, that means it's long form content and you can provide value for long segments of time. So it means you're probably actually good at what you do as well. And you know how to actually connect and communicate with people. So those two things were way bigger leading indicators than just somebody that knew how to grow Instagram or Facebook.
Yeah. No, it's interesting because like I think a couple of years back to that point, there was this influencer. So they paid her like, I don't know, whatever amount of money to sell like a product and whatnot.
Yeah.
And she had like, millions of followers, and she literally sold like 3 things. And they were like, what the hell? It's supposed to, you have 1 million followers, you're an influencer, all this stuff. Those numbers, like you said, don't necessarily translate to actual sales and business. So I could definitely dig that.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah. No. So you could go ahead because I was going to jump into the next question. But
Let's go. What do we got?
Yeah. No. So like one of the things, like you said, you did mention YouTube, you did mention email list. What does your agency do to actually help these small businesses?
Yeah.
And again, I guess YouTube isn't for everybody, right? So I mean, I guess you just, depending on what a person presents to you, you'll figure out what your direction you're going. But the email list is tantamount to everything, I'm assuming, correct?
100%. Yeah. So the main foundational things that we do, Omar, is we do project-based work, and then we also have some retainer services. So the project-based locked in things that we do is we do websites and sales funnels. So we do website design. That's going to be just like what you would think of. We're going to write that brand messaging for you, and we're going to give you that digital website, beautiful 5-page website and everything to make sure that you've got everything that you need to send people to, so they can start finding you on search engines like Google. A sales funnel is a website on steroids. It's got the lead generators connected in, it's built in, and it's connected with your CRM. So whenever people come there, they download your lead generator. We get and rewrite all the follow-up email sequences and build out the triggers and the automations and stuff like that. So that way it is pretty much a done for you collect lead machine. So all you have to do is flip the switch, turn it on, and then start filling it. Then what we do for our retainer services to help people fill it, our big specialty is search engine optimization. And so helping people to create content that is attracting and finding what people are actually searching for. And there's a couple of ways that we can do that. So one is we always help with the strategy front. There's a lot of the done for you stuff with creating blog content and content specific pages and stuff, and the dorky SEO stuff and everything to make sure that your stuff is found by your customers. We help with writing emails and stuff, sales sequences and monthly emails, weekly emails, whatever the different package it is. But then we really help with the strategy side, because to your point, YouTube works really well, but not everybody should be on YouTube. Like I always joke, like this is the face for podcasts. Unfortunately, this is a video podcast, but there's lots of different ways to create content and leverage it. But I firmly still believe if you want to win, like don't. At the end of the day, if you want to stand out online, you need to be really, really good at written content or long form video content. And so there's a couple of different ways that you can do that to get traction for your website. So for what I firmly believe, Omar, is the best thing that anybody can do to create content to grow their business is this. I think video podcast is what I'll tell you this. I haven't found one type of small business that shouldn't have a video podcast, and this is why. It's the easiest type of content to create because of the expectation of the watcher. They're not expecting super high production value. They're not expected this perfect scripted answer video response. It is real, authentic conversations. And so whenever I say everybody should have a video podcast, don't think about it like doing a podcast for like the Joe Rogan Experience type podcast. Think of it as a style of content. So whether it actually gets published on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and iTunes, stuff like that, doesn't matter, but it's the style of content. Because if you watch most social media, I'm going to show you what they're actually doing to batch create content. If you are a busy health coach, this is what they do. Your content online probably looks like this. You're scrolling and you see something where they're off camera like this, and it looks like they're doing this podcast interview, and somebody's right here in the room with them and they're answering a question, and they're going to start off by just answering the question like, yeah. And that's exactly what I was able to do in order to finally drop the weight. And then it's going to cut to the beginning of the video, and they're going to say, yeah, so whenever I was first starting, and they're going to go into some topic, right? But they hooked them with some type of a hook and they go into the problem, or they go into the solution. Well, what they've actually doing is they are looking at the screen and they're reading a script, and they're just looking at common FAQs that their audience is asking. And then they're just answering it. And then they're cutting it up into shorts. So it looks like a podcast, but it's really not. It's like a fake podcast, but you're doing all that work anyway. So why not use it to your advantage? So if I was a busy health coach and I wanted to create a lot of content, and I really felt self-conscious about maybe creating the Instagram shorts, and it's like so overwhelming to get started, what I would do is I would start a video podcast. What I would do is I would do a weekly show. I would record it on something like Zoom. The platform we always recommend to clients is one that's called riverside.fm. It's like $30 a month. And you can go on there and you can self-record yourself, and you just need to answer the top 5 to 10 questions. Try to batch, think about all the questions that you ask, topics and everything in the world of health coaching, group them up into like 5 questions, try to like create themes around them. And you're just going to go press record and start talking about the answers. Don't even worry about coming up with like a big long intro and outro and everything. Just get right into it. Are you struggling with this? Well, in today's video, I'm going to answer these the top 5 questions around XYZ topic. And then you're just going to start answering those topics. Well, now what you're going to do with that content is you are going to take that YouTube video, post it on YouTube. YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world. So when we talk about SEO and search engine optimization, having more eyeballs potentially find you, YouTube is going to be a really good resource for you. Then hopefully you have an awesome website that a great marketing agency has built for you, that it's set to do all this stuff. So then you're going to take that, you're going to embed that video on your website. It's like a blog post or something like that. Then what you can do is you can use AI and ChatGPT and things like that to take the transcript from that video and have it create blog articles and emails based upon what you talked about. Because so many people now that are rushing to use AI, they don't realize that AI might create something, but it has no perspective on it, no personality, no tone, no direction or anything. Well, if you feed AI with good information, you get better outputs, just like our bodies, right? If we put good stuff in it, we're going to get better outputs. And so if we take these transcripts and we dump it into ChatGPT, now it knows our tone, it knows our perspective and our point of view on a certain subject matter in the world of health coaching. And so now we're going to create blog articles, emails, and social posts from that. Then we take that long form video and those 5 questions, and we cut each one of those questions up into a short that is then posted on Instagram, TikTok, and all even YouTube shorts and short form content. So you might take a 15 to 20 minute record time for like a video podcast. And now you've got long form video. You've got a podcast page on your website. You've got a blog article on your website. You've got an email. You've got, let's say 5 social media short form clips from 20 minutes of record time. Not only do you get all that social content, so you're blasting it out everywhere, but now you're also optimizing search to have more people find you through YouTube and through your website.
Yeah, now listen, I agree 1,000%. I think one of the things that I stumbled upon with the podcast, I utterly enjoy it. It's my favorite thing. I love meeting people like yourself and having like these conversations, but it's the easiest form of content creation that anybody can imagine, especially when you have a guest that you can bounce some ideas off of and have like an interaction. I think it's amazing.
And that's the other key thing to doing video podcasts, is like the secret behind it too, is it would be it's a way for you to leverage other people's networks and to get connected with people that you normally wouldn't have an opportunity to connect with. So if there's leaders in your industry that you want to connect with, they're probably not going to meet you for coffee. They're not going to respond to your direct message, but hey, would you like to be a guest on my podcast? I would love to ask you these 5 questions. 100%. Now that's helped your network expand. And now whenever you take that short form content and then you're posting it on social and you're tagging them, you're making them like a collaborator on the post like Instagram. Well, now all of your content is being seen by their audience as well, because it's the algorithm's going to start feeding that to their people. So it's a way to leverage other people's audience as well.
No, it's amazing. Yeah, no, I love it. This is so many great tips. And I know, listen, I can't believe we've been rocking for 30 minutes already.
Keep it going, man. I'm here to serve. So whatever you got, keep firing away.
No, I appreciate it. Yeah, I do want to get one thing, because I know right now in the health coach space, the CRM business is really going crazy, right? So everyone's like, oh, I need a CRM. I need a CRM. When do we start getting into the CRM world? How important it is? Because I know some of them are quite pricey, especially to start, at least a good one. So I'm curious to see your perspective on a health coach and when they're supposed to start at least that process.
I honestly believe that should be the first thing that you do, because your data, in essence, take away the word CRM, it's a client database tool. That's what you need, because that's whenever we work with business owners, that's the first thing that we ask for whenever we're building out their CRM is awesome. Give us your contact list. And I can't tell you how many of them are like, oh, I don't have I just had a form on my website that would send me an email, but should we have kept those? Yes, you should have kept those. Like, your customer list is the most valuable asset to your business, because the people that are most apt to buy are people that have already bought from you in the past. And so that's where you get referrals from. That's where you get new products that you can position and sell to. So your customer list is very important. So that's besides a website, like website and CRM, I would say should be up there hand in hand. But like you said, Omar, it is confusing. And this was actually a big issue that we saw so many of our clients struggle with. And we honestly started struggling with it as well, because we were having to learn like 20 different platforms, because it seems like there was always a new one popping up and stuff. And so what we have done is over the past year is we have taken a platform, a really popular platform. It's called High Level. Yeah. And we have customized that into a program that's called Story Growth Funnels, that we pretty much unlock all the features for everybody. And we give that to our clients, and it's only $149 a month. But what we do that makes it different and special is we wanted to make a CRM that was made simple. So one of the things that we do for clients whenever they join our CRM platform is we do all the setup for you. Because most people don't realize, like, if you're setting up, like, even if you just want to have a software program that sends out emails and text messages, there's a lot of technical stuff that has to be done in order to do it right. So like, if you're sending out text messages, you have to do something that's called A2P authentication, where you have to fill out all this government paperwork. And because that just prevents organizations from popping up and just like mass spam texting numbers, you got to fill out all this paperwork, and you got registered and verified with that. And that is a big pain to learn how to do it, because it gets denied. You don't know how to submit the approvals and all that stuff. So we take care and we do all that stuff for you. And the same thing for your emails is we set up something that's called a dedicated domain. That's nerdy talk for, we're going to make sure that your emails actually land in Gmail and not the spam promotion folder.
Right. Yeah, no, I that's the one I use as well. And it is kind of overwhelming when you start looking at the available features. Sure, it's unlimited. But one of the things that I think was, I got sold on a CRM was the idea that, I was paying a little bit for the MailChimp stuff, that I was paying for, this portion of thing. It was, at the end of the day, I was spending money. It was just fragmented all across the internet. And when the CRM kind of put it together nice and relatively neat, and it's a little learning curve, like you said. I mean, it's sometimes it's a little overwhelming, but once it's set up, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's what we try to do, is eliminate the learning curve, and then also just the setup, because you don't want to learn how to build out all these crazy, things and all the technical setup. You just want to be able to push a button and send a text to your audience, or push a button and send out an email to your audience and everything. So we try to do everything we can to make it as user-friendly, as simple as possible for people.
Yeah, no, listen, Sean, you've been fantastic. Your agency sounds amazing. So I want to give you an opportunity to share all of that with us right now. So anybody who's looking for, for this kind of service, which is so valuable, can jump on, reach out to your company and your team, and take advantage of this. I mean, this, like I said, this is right up a health coach's alley. And I know that you definitely demonstrated the importance of these kinds of operations to have a successful health coaching business. So I want to give the floor to you and drop all those gems on us.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, honestly, the best thing would be is just go to our website at seangarner.co, SeanGarner.co. And then specifically for your audience, if they go to seangarner.co/HCA podcast, we're going to have something specifically for your audience that they go there and check out. We've got tons of free guides and resources. I think for your audience specifically, we've got something on our website that's called the Click to Client website wireframe template. And we actually have the step-by-step wireframe and how you need to set up your homepage to make sure that it follows that StoryBrand system and converts. So you can see exactly how you should be structuring out your webpage, where the copy should be, the site structure, the layout, the different sections and everything, and have all that set up for you. And so we are a full service agency. We do everything for you from, like I said, the website design, sales funnel, search engine optimization. I do marketing, coaching, and consulting and work as a fractional CMO. But I do know also with a lot of your audience is that they're just starting out. And so I know that website cost and custom website builds can be extremely overwhelming for people. Mm-hmm. So one of the things that we actually just released, which would probably be amazing for a lot of your audience just starting out, is we created our own StoryBrand Squarespace website template store. So we have built these websites. I've got some of the top website developers in the country. They've won design awards and everything that work for us. Well, they have taken their design skills, they put them in these websites, and they've structured them in a way that follows that storytelling, StoryBrand format. So that way you can honestly just plug and play in your copy, change out your colors and brandings and everything, and have a beautiful website that looks like it's professionally done for only $299. And The other thing that we've done with that is we have created a course that comes with it. It's about I think it's about 3.5-4 hour course that comes with it that not only shows you how to use the back end of Squarespace, but I personally go on there and I teach lots of stuff about search engine optimization, how you can create different forms of content. We get into the video podcast things, how to structure and build it out on your website and connect it all up there. And it's best practices for getting more eyeballs on your website once the thing's built. And that all gets included with every template that you purchase.
Wow, that's awesome. What a service. I wish I had that when I would put my site together. Oh, Sean, you've been fantastic. I appreciate you taking the time with us today. I wish you a great rest of the day.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for the opportunity. You guys have an awesome day.
All right, you too, brother.
Hope you enjoyed listening to today's episode of the Health Coach Academy podcast. If you did, jump over to iTunes and leave a rating and or review. It goes a long way in helping get this message out to our fellow health coaches and people in our industry. Also, if you can, jump over to my website, omarcumberbatch.com, where I give out a lot of freebies, including my 5-day sugar challenge for people who are having issues with sugar. And also for health coaches, I have the book, Hidden. It's the 6 not so obvious ways to get your clients unstuck. Have a great day.